Yo, what's going on YouTube? Today I'm gonna show y'all some more borrowed chords. We'll be in the key of C major, and I'm gonna show y'all different chords that you could play over each degree. So you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So over your 1 is, so sometimes, you know, when you playing in the band, we'll call out numbers. So let's just say the progression, I'm just about to think of something off the top of my head. Let's say we were doing 1, 4, 3. So the basic diatonic chords would be, and in certain contexts that might be the chords that we play, but usually if I say 1, 4, 3, I'm playing a 1 to a 4 and then a 1 over 3. We're not playing a 3 minor, which is technically, like I said, the diatonic chord for the 3. But usually over a 3 we play a 1. And then if I said if we did 1, 7, 6, diatonically it would sound like this. And in certain contexts that would be, you know, those could be the chords, but usually if we do a 1, 7, 6, it would be a 1 major to a 5 over the 7. And then your 6 could be either minor or it could be a 4 over 6. But in this case, we would just say minor. So that's 1, 7, and then 6. Now, usually, like I think I say this a lot in my videos, when I play major chords, I usually add the 2 in there too. So opposed to playing a triad like that, I'm usually gonna throw this 2 in there just to make it more, you know, a little thicker. And then so over this 7, instead of playing the G major like that, I usually just same chord that I just showed you with the added 2. So it's this chord, but I'm just spreading it out a little bit. So you still got your 1, your 5, the 9 or 2, the 1 again, and then a 3 down in the bass, which is technically a drop 2 chord. If you look at it, that's a drop 2 because second highest note in this chord would be B. So really, that's something to know. Just keep that in your mind. Anytime you do a first inversion chord of a triad, it's really a drop 2. So like this would be a drop 2, and that would be a drop 2. So you got your 1, 4, 3, and then 1, 7, 6, and that's a minor 7 right there. So certain chords can be played, like, so if I'm playing my 1, sometimes you could play a flat 7 over 1. Instead of playing your C major, play a B flat major. So you will hear that a lot in certain songs. Something else you could do over the 1, and I'm starting to really like this more and more, you play your 6 minor over the 1. So it'll sound like this. And in context, it sounds better. I can't think of a song right now with it, but that is something that you really want to explore, playing your 6 minor over the 1. So another way to do that flat 7, instead of playing it just like a triad, I usually I make it like a major 9. So you have and I'm looking at it like B flat right now. So you would have a major 7, the 1, that's a 9, and then the 5. So you're just not playing this 3, but you can still add that in there. But I like it open because going to our next note, if I was on the 2, I could play that same chord over that note too. So that's the 1, that's the 2. So you got C major, A minor over C, and then B flat over C. So a flat 7 over your 1. So moving to the 2 chord, So you know your 2 is a minor, So like I just showed you, you can play the flat 7 over this. Your 2 could also be a major chord. So you could play like, you could do like a dominant. Hear that a lot. And it takes you to 5. 2, so a 2 major always takes you to 5 or some variation of a 5, because I could do this too. If I did, so it's still 5, but I'm just playing my 7 in the bass of C. So like a drop 2. So you got D dominant 7, and then it takes you to a G over B, or a 5 over 7. So what else can you do over the 2? So we got minor, we got the flat 7 over the 2, and then we have a major 2, and then we'll go to the 3. So a 3 is a minor as well. So what else could you do? You could play a minor or a minor 7. You can play a C or 1 over 3, like we talked about in the beginning. Borrowing, you play a E major. So it's like borrowing from the key of, you could say, well, I would say a harmonic, from the harmonic minor, which is a harmonic minor scale, because this is gonna take me to A minor. And then, so let's do that again. So we got our minor, we got the 1 over 3, and then we have a dominant 7, which you have to resolve that. Now I'm gonna try this. If I did, there it is. So now that chord I was telling you, in context it sounds good, that's an A minor over C. So I just did E major, E dominant 7, and all I did was drop the bass down. I didn't move the chord at all. So E, same chord, just drop the bass to D, and then you playing a 6 minor over your 1. So that's how it sounds in context. So that's why I said that chord is just nice to add to your vocabulary. So moving to the 4, it's other stuff we could do on the 3. I'm not gonna give y'all like everything, but just these are just some ideas you can add to just kind of stretch out a little bit. So over the 4, of course, major, because diatonically your 4 is major. You can make it minor. You hear that a lot in pop songs, church songs. And usually it resolves to 1. So if he did 4, minor 4, and then to 1, or some variation of 1, because you could play 1 over 3, and then something else. You can change your bass notes too. That gives you a different effect. So if I play, instead of playing my 4 in the bass, I could play still keep my 4 chord, but I'm playing my 6 in the bass, and I'm gonna just drop down chromatically for the minor, and then I'm gonna drop down chromatically to play my 1 over 5. So stuff like that, that's good to just add. Or you could do like this too. Keep that, just drop the bass, and then just drop this. So that's other stuff you could do. So let's hear that again. You could do, just drop this bass note, keep this up here, and then drop this note and drop the bass note. So I'm keeping the C. I'm keeping the C down here, and I'm keeping the C up here. So you keep the C's, and I'm keeping the F for this next chord too. So I'm just dropping the bass, and then I'm gonna drop both of the low notes. So this F is going to E, and this G sharp is going to a G natural. Or however you want to look at it, you could say A flat, G sharp. All right, where we at? So that's certain stuff you could do in a 4. You could also play a 2 minor over 4. So it's kind of the same concept as playing a 6 minor over 1. You can play your 2 minor over 4. And that's actually like one of the most beautiful chords that I play. In context, like when you hear it, that's just a beautiful chord. And then if you go to 1 or 1/3, you could just, and you could throw that. That major 7. So certain stuff you could do on the 4, moving to the 5, and then I'm skipping all these other notes, but that takes you to a whole nother world when you add in the chromatic notes in there. So I'm just showing you all the diatonic, some of the diatonic chords and variations that you could do. So your 5, you got G. You can of course play your 1/5. And you hear that a lot, like especially you hear it in any style of music, but in church you would hear. So you hear that a lot. What else can you play? So you could play it as a triad. You could play it 1/5. You can also play the flat 7 over that too. So there you go. So now you have it's like a minor 7. So, this usually takes you to like a 1 dominant. You could play, or you could just keep the same chord and just go to 1 in your bass, like that, to 4, or sometimes I do that. All that is a minor 9, and then it's like a C 13, because you got your C, or I'm gonna say numbers. You got your 1, 3, 13, dominant 7, and then you got a 9. So you going 5, 1, 4, circle the 5th stuff. So if I was playing it, like if we did, well, I didn't get to the 7 yet, so I'm not gonna do that. Let's just keep going. So we got major, 1/5, minor. What else could we do over the 5? I mean, there's other stuff you could do. Like if I wanted to make it a 13, or you could do, or dominant, just a regular dominant, or dominant 9. And then if I went up one more time, it would be like that. Another thing I like to do over the 5 too, I might as well show y'all this. Whenever, it's not like a go-to thing for me, but I know it's available in certain situations. I play my 1, I go up in whole steps, and then I'm gonna go up a half step, and then I'm gonna go up another whole step. So that movement, if I start with 1/5, I go up a whole step, half step, whole step. And then you can change the bass too, like I could do 3. I can go up to that, to that. It's just different stuff. But yeah, so that's still over the 5. Over the 6, of course, minor. You can play a 4/6. You can make your 6, you can play it as a 13. You can play it as a minor 7 flat 5. Well, not so much minor 7 flat 5. That's minor 7 flat 5, but you can play it as like a dominant with a flat 9. Dominant 7 flat 9. That will take you to 2. What else can you do over this chord? Yeah, do that. You can stretch it out. But usually when a dominant 6 always takes you to a minor 2 for the most part. Or it could take you to a major 2 as well. Let's see. Yeah, it can be major 2. And then that. All right, so we got what? Minor 13, dominant 7 with a flat 9. What was the other one I did? Just stretching that out, just kind of voicing it a little different. So if we spell this one out, we got a 1, 7, and looking at it like we're in A, not the key of C, but just the chord. We have a 1, a minor 7, where we have a 3. I think I played this. That would be a augmented 5th, and then a flat 9. So that's an A augmented with a flat 9. A little variation from this but I can, all you gotta do is keep that F right there, but you can play it like that too, with the regular 5 or augmented 5th. They both sound good and take you to minor, or let's see how this one would resolve. Yeah, that sounds good because the augmented 5th resolves to that. So even if you played it minor or major, you got that 9 in there. So a minor 9 or a dominant 9 works to resolve. So let's hear that again. So if we did and just resolve it, yeah, that sounds good. All right, what else so we got the 7 now. So 7 gets interesting because it's already has a funky sound. So like we said in the beginning, 5/7. This lesson is way longer than what I thought it would be. 5/7. You can do, of course, the diminished, the diatonic. So 5/7. What else would I play over my 7? Going out of a little. Well, it's kind of like playing the 3. How we did the 3 with the major. I just play a major over it. So you can play a major 3rd over a 7, and that takes you to a still minor. You could do like a diminished too. So a diminished 7, and that will take you to minor. Now, in the circle of fifths, this will move like that. So, but look at this. Because we're playing a major 3rd over this 7, it's basically the same chord. We don't have to change it. So all I'm doing is altering or adding this. I'm adding a D, which would basically is making it. I'm looking at it like a E dominant 7, but then I'm throwing this flat 9 in there. But it works. Like sometimes the E note, the note E is not in there, but it's technically the same thing. So you're just throwing a diminish in there. What else can you play over that? Yeah, you can do that. So you can play a major 2 over the 7 as well. So if I'm try to give it some context, and then I did. So it's just a minor 7. So it's a 7 minor 7, and then you could just go down the scale to the 6 minor. So or just give you different sounds. You just, like I said, you got to explore with it to see where everything could fit perfectly. But those are just some ideas. I might do a video on these too, on just like adding those the chromatic notes in between. But those are some of the diatonic ideas that you can use in the key of C, or any key. I mean, take that, really apply it to any key. I might do some other keys, but just try to explore and see what you can come up with.